Hi, I'm Teresa Gascoyne. I'm your Filipina in Seattle. I'm going to teach you how to make sans rival with macadamia nuts. Just watch. Here's our sans rival. Delicious. Serve 9 by 14 cookie sheets. And I'm gonna line them with parchment paper. I'm gonna line this with parchment paper and lightly grease this and dust with flour. I'm gonna put grease here on the baking pan itself so it will stick to the parchment paper. I'm gonna grease this too. That way this one will stick there. But it's sticking now. And then what I'm gonna do now is grease this too. Grease this completely around the corners. And dust this with the flour. We're going to make the base of our sans rival. First of all, we need 8 egg whites, large egg whites at room temperature. There's 8 of them there in a cup. We need 1.5 cups of macadamia nuts, finely grated, and we need 1 cup of powdered sugar. And we need a mixer with a wire whisk. We're gonna put our egg whites here in the mixer and run this to high. Now that our egg whites are foamy, we're gonna add the sugar gradually. We're gonna add the powdered sugar, 1 cup of powdered sugar gradually. Now I turn the mixer to low and I'm gonna add the macadamia nuts slowly. I'm just gonna mix this one final time. Spread it evenly here. I'm going to spread this evenly, make sure the corners are all covered. Now that it's spread evenly throughout the baking pan, we're going to bake this for half an hour or until done in a preheated oven at 300 degrees Fahrenheit. Now it's time to make the filling for our sans rival. We need 8 egg yolks, 3/4 cups of butter cut into small cubes, 1 cup sugar, 1/4 cup water. We need 1 teaspoon corn syrup, and also we need a mixing bowl. That's our mixing bowl. It's a stand mixer. And we need a saucepan to dissolve the sugar. First, we need to dissolve this sugar, 1 cup sugar in 1/4 cup water. We need to dissolve this completely. So, that's the 1 cup sugar. I'm using cane sugar, organic cane sugar. It's 1 cup water. We're going to dissolve this completely before we turn the stove on. This is going to be mixed. We have to dissolve this completely by hand before we put the stove on. Now I'm putting 1 teaspoon corn syrup. This is the corn syrup. And we're gonna put the heater. I'm turning on the stove to medium. Right there in the middle, number 5. We're going to dissolve this sugar without stirring it. So what we'll do, we'll just turn this saucepan. Just turn it around so the sugar dissolves evenly. And while we're dissolving the sugar, we're gonna mix our egg yolk in our stand mixer. This is our stand mixer, and we're gonna mix the egg yolks. Now that our sugar is fully dissolved, I'm gonna switch off the stove and put all this butter in here. And mix this together until the butter dissolves. What I'll do, I'll just turn it like that. I'm just gonna let the butter dissolve here and put this mixture here in our egg yolks. They're now orange colored egg yolks now, and we're gonna put this and the sugar and butter together. This is our filling for our century pie. We're going to let this cool down completely or leave it in the fridge. We're going to refrigerate this for a while, so it will be. Now we're ready to assemble our century ball. This is one of the bases. I made 3 bases like this. What I did was I turned over the base of the century ball on my cake carrier because I'm gonna take this to church tomorrow. That's what I did. Turn it over there. This is the base. I made 3 bases. I'll stack them together like a sandwich with fillings in the middle. There it is. And I'm gonna cut the corners with the kitchen scissors. I'm gonna cut these excess corners. Kitchen scissors. I took it out of the fridge, this filling, and beat it again in the mixer. And now I'm going to use this filling now. I'm going to spread this over the century ball base. I'm going to spread this around. Now this is the second layer. I put it upside down again, and I'm gonna put more fillings. I'm gonna put filling on top and on the sides. Now we're gonna trim off with the sharp knife. We're gonna trim off some parts of this. Some excess and make it look nice and even. And then we're gonna finally put the rest of this on top and on the side. We're gonna even it out like the same thing we do when we ice our cake. Now that we've completely covered our century ball with the filling, with the cream, we're now going to sprinkle this with the roasted macadamia nuts. This is the finely grounded and roasted macadamia nuts. We're gonna spray this all over. Here's our century ball. Delicious. Serve it cold. I'm gonna leave this overnight in the fridge, and then I'll serve this tomorrow in the church.